Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back to Real Macroeconomics Investing. Patreon.com/Real Macro. Don't forget to come down, like, subscribe, follow along. We're going to talk a lot about the monetary system, macroeconomics, trading, investing, politics, how politics uses economics to mislead people. Right, so you guys are going to really understand how money is created, what gives it value, and so forth. All right. So before we do that, don't forget to go back and take a look at the previous videos of how money is created, how it's destroyed, what a reserve is, how government funds itself, and so forth. Okay, it's going to make a lot more sense watching this video. So let's get started. All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about this newly created country that we formed. The private sector decided on a bunch of politicians. Okay, so we have government now in place. Now, the question I'm going to ask you is, do a bunch of politicians have anything to give to anyone at any time? And the answer is no. They got nothing. Okay, it's just they formed the government. Great. Can they just issue money? No, they can't. It's illegal. All right. So let's start there. Can the government that has nothing give anything to anyone? No, they cannot. All right, good. So everything starts from the private sector. Everything. All right. So now the government needs a central bank. All right. This is the government's bank. Now let's talk about, well, before we talk about banks, yeah, I'm talking about banks and I'm bringing over banks. All right. Before we do anything else, we're going to need to create a central bank. All right. Now, can the government, with a central bank, issue money? Answer is no. Still no. Oh, what do you mean? Well, it's in the Constitution that, in the Federal Reserve Act of 1913, set by Congress, that the central bank cannot buy IOUs from the government. Can't do it. Okay? Why? Because it cannot fund deficits just by willy-nilly printing up money and spending it into the economy. That's to prevent politicians from abusing it, destroying the currency, and then blowing up the whole economy. Right? It's not going to last very long if we had somebody like Trump running around and 6-time bankrupt. Just I'll give you free everything, free, and then everything collapses. All right, so cool. So what can and the government do and what the government cannot do? All right, so they cannot issue money and spend it. This is a lie. The Federal Reserve cannot fund government deficits. That's also a lie. All right, so the government can set legal tender. Okay, the government can engrave what a dollar bill looks like. Okay, the government can mint coins. Okay, who distributes the dollars, right? The money supply, the currency. It says it right here. The Federal Reserve, right? Right there, it says Federal Reserve. All right. So the government can engrave it, get a bunch of artists, and they design it and whatever, but it's the Federal Reserve that distributes the physical stuff. All right? Clear as mud? Good. Now, this is a currency. This is not money creation. All right? This is a currency. Now, who in the private sector has access to that currency? Nobody yet. Okay? Nobody. We're going to talk about how that occurs later. But for right now, they can sit here and print up all these dollars, but nobody has access to them. Why? Because the government cannot just print dollars, give it to government, and go and spend it. Or, as some economic theories say, issue the money and pay for it. Can't do it. It's not the way it works. All right, so just to recap, the government can designate what is legal tender. The government can engrave, it can mint coins, all right? But it's the central bank that distributes those dollars. But how does it distribute it is going to be covered in the next video. But the physical stuff is currency. This is not money creation. Nobody has access to it. It's useless at this point. Why? Because the central bank cannot fund government. It cannot buy government bonds, newly issued government bonds, not after it's been out in the market. Newly issued government bonds to increase deficits, it cannot do. The government uh, does have the authority to tax and does have the authority to borrow, but it cannot borrow from the central bank as per the Federal Reserve Act of 1913 set by Congress. All right. So we're going to leave it here, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk more about this. All right. So don't forget to click like and subscribe, and we're going to talk how money is created in the next video, and put everything in a nice order and prioritize it appropriately. All right. Take care, guys. Talk to you soon. Mwah. Ciao, ciao.